How's it going, guys? Welcome in to. Excited to be here alongside Nick. We're just a week away from opening day. Cannot wait for that game in St. Louis. And for those of you that may have seen, Adam Wainwright, the guy who was supposed to start opening day for the Cardinals, was announced to be on the injured list to start the season. So we're not sure who we're going to see on March 30th, and we're not sure who's going to pitch for the Jays either on March 30th. So that's something to monitor, and we'll have more on that in the video later today. But yeah, a big game today against the Twins. They got their stacked lineup out there. Well, at least their top three looks pretty good. So it should be interesting. And Yusei Kikuchi on the mound, another prove it game.
Yeah, sorry for the technical difficulties. I just realized you didn't even hear me at the start, but we're good now. We got Peter. Peter's here. What's up, Owen, Matthew, Nick, Fluffy? I was a bit late today. It's my fault. Don't blame Peter. I got the audio a bit messed up here to start, but we're good. We're in it, and let's just get into the lineup previews. And like you said, Adam Wainwright is not the opening day starter anymore on March 30th, a week away, but we'll get into that a little bit and probably in the Q&A. What's up, Matthew Moore? Here is the Jays lineup today. Great to see you guys back. Thank you, Matthew. We have Espinal, Jansen, Lopez, Spencer Horwitz, Aurelvis Martinez, Vinny Capra, Winton Bernard, Robertson, Roden, and Yusei Kikuchi on the bump today. Pretty rough lineup for the Jays. Obviously, a couple regulars there with, Aurelvis Martinez being probably the guy I'm looking forward to the most in the hitting department. But what are your thoughts on today's lineup? Anyone exciting?
I'm looking forward to Otto Lopez the most, and obviously Yusei Kikuchi. I mean, the battle for the final roster spot is between Otto Lopez and Nathan Lucas. Nathan Lucas is not in the lineup, which is a little bit surprising. They went with Winton Bernard instead, which came as a bit of a shock to me. Which kind of does that mean Otto Lopez is the guy? Are they leaning towards Otto Lopez,
Maybe. It could also
or are
mean the
they
other thing.
or are they both or are they both giving them a game in the three hole to see who does better? That could be another way to look at it. But I expect it to go this way throughout the rest of spring training. One game with the full lineup that we'll see in the regular season, and then one game with mostly minor leaguers and one featured guy that is maybe fringe to make the team. So that's what I'm looking out for throughout the rest of the spring here.
I agree. And again, the big thing today is Yusei Kikuchi for me. And this is probably his last spring start. Maybe he might get an appearance there.
No, I think he gets
Maybe
one
one
more.
more.
I think he
Okay.
gets one more because he'll be the fifth starter, and they have 5 games after today, so
Okay.
he'll get one more.
Okay, you're right.
He
Yeah,
should get one
you're
more.
right. You're right. So it'll be second last start. So we'll see how he does today. And then other than that, pretty boring lineup. Hopefully Jansen gets going a little bit. He's had a very, very poor start to the to spring, but not really worried about him.
Yeah,
What's up, Adam? It's crazy that all these guys are playing, but not Berger. I think Berger is sent down, right? Berger was one of
yeah.
the Berger's been
Sent
sent
down to
down.
minor league camp.
So
Yeah,
he can't
yeah,
play anymore, unless that's the point you're making, which fair enough. But let's get into the Twins lineup today, which is a bit more stacked than the Blue Jays one, to say the least. You have Byron Buxton, Carlos Correa, Christian Vasquez, Kyle Garlick, Nick Gordon, Tyler White, Mark Contreras, Ryan Lamar, and Elliot Soto, with Tyler Mahle, their big acquisition last season, pitching.
yeah.
And this game is televised, for in case you were wondering. It is televised, which I was a bit surprised about today. But yes, it is on TV. And this Twins lineup, anything you're looking forward to? It's going to be fun to watch Kikuchi go up against at least a semi-real MLB lineup.
Well, the top three is really formidable. Kyle Garlick hits really well against lefties, and Nick Gordon was a tough matchup for the Blue Jays last year. He owned them for
Yep.
whatever reason, and Nick Gordon just hasn't panned out as a prospect thus far in his major league career, but he's got the Jays numbers somehow. So it'll be a good test, that top five for Yusei Kikuchi. And Carlos Correa is just one of my favorite players. I love watching him play. Same thing with Byron Buxton. Guy's just so fun to watch. Just box office. I just wish he could stay healthy. He hasn't been able to do so far. And Tyler Mahle, you said it. Big acquisition from last year for the Minnesota Twins. That's going to be a good test for those young hitters, especially Otto Lopez, because we know he could handle lefties. We know he could handle lesser pitching, and he showed that at the World Baseball Classic. But can he handle those stars in the major leagues? It remains to be seen.
Yeah, that's a good point. And yeah, I'm excited to see how Kikuchi does today. It's like the main thing. Other than that, it's going to be a pretty not boring game. I can say boring. Might be a fairly uneventful game with not many of the regulars in there. It's kind of sad when all the prospects leave major league camp. Yeah, but at the same time, it's also a good thing because that means you're finally starting to ramp up for the regular season, which
Yeah,
again is a week away. And Peter, what is your prediction with
yeah.
Kikuchi? We'll get into that in I guess in a couple seconds here in the bold predictions. But yeah, make sure to hit the like button. Today's a boring game. I don't expect too good of a turnout for the old pregame show, but it is what it is. We still love doing them. And let's get into the second topic now, Peter. What is your rapid fire question for the day?
I'll let you start
Okay.
today. I'll let you start.
I'll address Owen's. Well, kind of address Owen's question here, and I don't know if I've asked this one, or I guess I'll ask it in this way. How good do you think our? It's just a pretty ambiguous question here, but how good do you think our rotation is going to be by the end of the season? So by the end of the year, do you think it would be top 5 in the MLB, top 10? So this can take into account, a potential ad at the trade deadline or just people performing
Hmm.
well. How good do you think it's going to be for when the playoffs start? Or maybe like the playoff, top 4. Do you think it'll stay the same or do you think it'll change?
I'd say top 10. I'd
Okay.
say top 10. And when it comes to the rotation in the playoffs, it all depends how they perform. And that's the biggest thing. If Jose Barrios figures it out, then I see no reason as to why he can't become the third starter by the end of the season. And if Chris Bassett underperforms, I see no reason as to why Yusei Kikuchi may overtake him if he's having a better season. So we don't know. I'll say top 10. That's going to be my pick. How about you?
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Maybe if they make a major trade at the deadline or something like that, they'd be higher. But I'd say for now, top 10 is pretty fair. My prediction is 250 viewers for the opening day stream. Whew.
Yeah, it's good. That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Oh,
Makes
I
sense.
like that. I like 250
I like
viewers.
that
That
too. That's
would be ideal.
that's a nice one. That's a
Okay.
nice
Do
one.
you have yours made up?
Yeah, okay. I got one for you. If you were the Jays front office, would you have given Carlos Correa $250 million this offseason, knowing that he would for sure come to Toronto, and then would you move Bo Bichette to second base?
Hmm. Yes.
You would have. What about 300 million?
Yes.
You would have.
I think so. I
Okay,
think
me
so.
too. Yeah, me
I think I
too.
would do any
It's a
money
little bit of a
besides
a
a
little bit of a
crazy.
stupid question. It's not my money either, so it doesn't really matter. But
I think
yeah,
I'd
we
do
got
it.
to keep in mind. Yeah, I would do it.
Though he
I
does have
would do it.
injury history and, so who knows? Maybe.
Well, like, yeah, but that injury scare was from like in his time in the minor leagues. It was just so weird. But whatever. Yeah, I would do it. I would do it.
Nick
I'd
saying
love him on
yes.
the team.
I think it'll improve because we're eventually going to get another number 4 or 5 starter like Carlos Carrasco, Chris Archer, etc. I could definitely see it. Completely depends how our normal guys do so far to start the season, especially through the first however many months until the trade deadline. But I'll pop up my final rapid fire one, and I guess it's just a very simple question for you all. What's up, Rachit? Hope you're doing well. This one is again probably gonna be a pretty easy one. I mean, Peter, we probably run through most of the rapid fire questions that we've had in our
Yeah.
head here, so. Otto Lopez or Nathan Lucas? Which one would you guys rather have on the opening day roster? And who do you think ends up being I guess the fourth outfielder for the Blue Jays? I think most of us are going to go with Otto Lopez. I'm curious to see how many go with Nathan Lucas. Or I guess there's
Yeah.
two parts. Who would you rather, and who do you think? You can choose to answer which either way you want. But I think Otto Lopez is the answer for me, especially after the World
Yeah.
Baseball Classic.
Yeah, I'd go with Otto Lopez, who I would rather, and who I think it's going to be is also Otto Lopez, just because of his versatility, not because he's a better outfielder than Nathan Lucas. I mean, Nathan Lucas, he's really good out there. He's super fast. He's got a great jump when the ball gets hit to him, and he could probably play the outfield a little bit better than Lopez. But if someone does go down in the infield, and you need Nathan Lucas to play infield, it's not going to happen. Otto Lopez is going to be that guy. So that's why I would lean more towards Lopez just because of the versatility. I think he's better in that regard. And, the 13th man on the roster is not going to play too much. He'll probably get in there in a spot start every now and then, but I don't expect more than maybe 40 games out of Otto Lopez, 40 appearances, I'd say. So I'd probably lean Lopez just because of the versatility and the insurance that he provides to your roster.
Yeah, I'd say he might get more games than that. We obviously saw Raimel Tapia get almost 100 last year. But I guess it depends on injuries and things like that.
I'll address Calvin's question here. Does it say anything that Barger has left camp earlier than Orelvis Martinez? Um, I I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. That's a I think they just want Addison Barger to get comfortable because they know where he's going to start. He's going to start in AAA, and he's probably going to play at third base every day over there. So that's why they're getting him acclimated to his new teammates, and just I think they want him to establish like a leadership presence in that clubhouse. Whereas Elvis Martinez, he's got a bit of a ways to go before he's ready for the major league. So I wouldn't read too much into it. I still think Barger is closer to making the big league team as opposed to Elvis Martinez, but I don't know. It's a pretty good question that you brought up there, Calvin.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know how much of this. Obviously, you. I mean, I don't know who's closer to the MLB between Relvis and Addison. You'd think Berger for sure, but you don't really. Who knows after the way Relvis has performed? But I guess let's get into the bold predictions. Let's get into the bold predictions now. And Peter, again, this game is kind of going to be a boring one, but I'm going to throw a Kikuchi bold prediction out there, and you can too if you want. But do you have any? I'll pop up the lineup and chat. Let us know your bold predictions for this one here, for this game filled with prospects / veterans.
Danny Jansen hits his first home run of the spring. That's what I'm going to go with. I guess it's bold because he hasn't hit one yet. Then I'm going to go Yusei Kikuchi gives us four and 2/3 of scoreless ball before giving up 2 home runs back to back to Buxton and Correa.
Okay, so Jansen home run, Kikuchi
Yeah.
4 scoreless, and back-to-back home runs given up. Okay, I'm just gonna go
Yeah.
pretty simple here. I'm gonna go with an Espinal home run and a Relvis Martinez home run, and I'll leave the Kikuchi one to you there, but I'll leave the Kikuchi one to you. And let us know any bold predictions you guys have in the chat, or if you want to, if you don't have any for this game, as of course the lineup isn't phenomenal. It's not phenomenal today, but it's something. I'll also throw out there a little Vinny Capra triple. I'll throw that into the mix a little bit. Owen with Kikuchi 5 scoreless innings. He said, Peter and Nick, I have a question for you. If Otto Lopez becomes a Santiago Espinal type player in the outfield, would we have to re-sign anyone for the outfield next year? Yeah, I think it depends how Lotto Lopez does, I guess. I don't think he's going to be a regular full-time outfielder for the Jays in the next 3 or 4 years, though.
No, he won't be, and he just doesn't have the power to be a corner outfielder. Dalton Varsho, sorry, is the center fielder of the future for the Toronto Blue Jays after this year, which is probably a reason why they only signed Kevin Kiermaier for one season. So I expect Dalton Varsho to be the everyday center fielder. He's going to be one of the best at the position with his power, with his speed, with his fielding ability. So I expect that going forward. And in your corner outfielders, you want a guy that'll hit for power, like a George Springer, like a Teoscar Hernandez. Hence why those guys play in right field. So Otto Lopez doesn't have what it takes to be the everyday left fielder unless he puts on 40 pounds of muscle, which I don't see happening. But
No.
I think they still look to grow their power department in left field past next year.
Yeah, I agree. What's up, Rachit?
Yeah.
Nick saying Capra home run. Rachit saying Kikuchi gets 3 consecutive strikeouts and Capra goes 3 for 3. Lots of Capras. Mark Ryan. What's up, Mark? Otto Lopez is a second baseman that sometimes plays outfield. Yeah, I just don't think that Lopez profiles as a corner outfielder at all.
No.
And maybe as like a similar to Whit Merrifield in center field, but we already have a Whit Merrifield. And then if he leaves, and maybe you consider him at second base with the occasional spot start in the outfield. But I don't know, we're getting too ahead of ourselves. The regular season's starting in a week, so I don't want to think too much about Otto Lopez's future in the outfield.
Well, I'd say, I mean, Whit Merrifield is pretty much as good as gone next season. I mean, this is his last year before he hits free agency, and the Jays have so much depth at second base that unless he performs to a ridiculous clip and wants to re-sign on a bargain level deal with Toronto, I don't think he's going to come back because it's probably his last chance to cash in anywhere else. So I'd probably go with Otto Lopez taking over in like a secondary role in the infield, kind of like Kevin Biggio gets stepped up in a sense where he'll play a lot more at second base, and then Otto Lopez will take over that Kevin Biggio role for next season. That's what I think.
I'd agree. What's up, Shane? It's good. Can't wait for the end of the month and the season to start. 1 week away, Shane. We've gotten through spring, and yeah. Mark's saying lesser version of, yeah, exactly, Mark. A lesser version of Merrifield. Oh, they're going to prefer showing center. I'm assuming you mean center and not catcher next year. I like that way more than re-signing Kiermaier. Nice use. Made my day, Peter. Yeah, they're gonna. I think that's the plan all along, was to put him in center field, assuming Kiermaier leaves, and if he stays, and we'll see how this season goes. But I wish we developed more outfield prospect. Yeah, a lot of them haven't turned out well. Zach Britton, Spencer Horwitz, an outfielder. I think so, right?
He is a corner outfielder, but he profiles better as a first
First
baseman.
baseman.
I don't think Spencer Horwitz is gonna really make too much of an
No.
impact. Gabriel Martinez is probably the brightest outfield prospect right now. That's closest to the majors, and then the other guy would probably be Emmanuel Bonilla, the guy that
Yeah,
they
the
just signed an
international.
international free agency. So, but he's 16 or 17, so can't uh,
No, it's years
can't
away.
really count on him quite yet.
And again, this game is televised. Here's the lineup for the Blue Jays. In case you missed it, I don't know if you guys are tuning in now. So we have Espinal, Jansen, Lopez, Horwitz, Martinez, Capper, Bernard, Robertson, Roden. Nothing too crazy today, but it should be a bit of fun with Kikuchi on the hill. If Kikuchi wasn't pitching today, it would be a really boring. Am I allowed to say that? Boring game, but
Who
without.
thought we'd say that?
I know, crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. Make sure to hit the like button if you enjoy. Let's get to 15 likes. Hit the like button. Daily streams.
Nick with a
Daily
good
videos.
question here. Any more news on the rumors of either Biggio or Espinal to the
No,
Astros?
just
No.
rumors.
That's something I just saw on Twitter. There was no formal articles written about it or anything, but I think it's a real possibility because Jose Altuve is going to be out for quite some time, and he's out indefinitely. They haven't even provided a timetable for his return. And a broken thumb, that could be tricky, man, because a lot of your power comes from that thumb in your swing, right? So he's going to take a while to get back from that. So Espinal to the Astros could be a legitimate possibility, and I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with that if they get a pitcher in return and a pitcher that'll help us out.
Yeah, exactly, Richie. I agree. Shane, yeah, Shane, exactly. And they're gonna honor him, and hopefully it's a good year. But we'll see how it goes. And yeah, no, I wouldn't mind an Espinal to the Astros, or maybe even a Biggio, because Biggio is kind of more stuck out there in the. But you would get way less for Biggio. But I guess it depends on
Mhm.
who we could get back. But I feel like a Biggio would be more likely than an Espinal trade. You think? But an Espinal would be more of a better package. But maybe not. Honestly, maybe the Astros, they are trying to win it, so maybe they want someone a bit more proven. That's a good point. I don't know.
But then once Altuve gets back, how much is he going to play? So that's the real thing. So maybe they do go with Kevin
Yeah.
Biggio in the short term
It
and
depends how
try to
bad
give
his
up
injury is, and only
as
they
little
really
as
know.
possible.
At least you think only
Well,
they really know.
I mean, I could tell you, man, it's probably not going to be before maybe 2 months, 3 months, maybe.
Yeah. Kikuchi games are never boring. You saw plenty of hits. Yeah, and hopefully now you're not seeing many hits with Kikuchi so far in the spring. You're looking more to his
Mhm.
progress. But let's get into the last topic, which is Q&A for the last 5 minutes before there is first pitch. I mean, we'll have a post-game reaction video / kind of a news video today. That's kind of what we've been doing recently, especially with the games, as we've kind of, lots of spring training games. The games don't necessarily mean a whole lot, so we've been combining those. You've been enjoying them. But Biggio / Espinal plus Richards for Scott Barlow. Interesting. That's
Mhm.
Royals, right?
Yeah.
Or did he?
Mu- I don't know.
Did Scott Barlow get
I
traded to
don't
the
know.
Astros? Am I tripping
I
out?
don't think so. No, dude, I don't
No
think
shot.
so. It can't be. That's
Maybe.
not fair.
Maybe
That's just not fair. Like,
the free
why do
agency.
we even play the season? Why do we even play the season if these
They won't
guys are
trade
going to get
Espinal.
everything?
Biggio is the move. I tend to agree, Mark. Biggio is gonna be a big part of our
No,
regular
yeah,
season
he's
run.
on Kansas City.
Okay, so
Kansas City.
I mean, maybe
Yeah.
if Kansas City wants a second baseman, get rid of Richards. Biggio's gonna be a big part of our
I don't
regular
think so.
season run. We better not trade him. Interesting. I know Eric would agree with you. No, he's on the Royals. That's what I thought. Yeah, I didn't know if he got.
Yeah.
I thought I completely just missed a huge trade. That would have been unfortunate. Wouldn't be the first
The
time.
Royals got a lot of second basemen. A lot of second
Have I missed
basemen.
Brandon Barriera? Have you missed him in what sense? He hasn't pitched for the in spring at all. He's a lefty, throws gas, similar to Tiedemann-ish.
Yeah.
Way too light. Royals would want prospects. Can't believe Richards
Yeah,
is
that's
only
true.
29.
That's true.
Yeah, they're not taking. Royals aren't going to take Biggio for maybe Espinal and a prospect. But if you're the Astros, a trade is a bad move here. You think so, Mike? It depends how much they trust their internal. I don't know who's their internal option right now at second base to replace Altuve if they don't make a trade. I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know.
They're much better off going for a free agent. Yeah, that's fair, but at the same time, there's not many free agents left. Again, the Astros are trying to win now. I guess maybe if they change that, try and swing some MLB The Show trades. Can't believe Richards only 29. Dude looks 45. It's the white hair. That's what I mean. How come we haven't seen him? Too young, I guess. What's up, William Wilson? Have we? Yeah, we haven't seen Brandon because what? He's too young. I think. Yeah. I mean, they just haven't. He was only drafted in the last draft, so we'll probably see him next year or the year after. Bombastic. Jonathan VR is available. Gives me some bad memories. Peter, have you ever heard of Manuel Beltre? What are your thoughts on him? Peter has.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's a good prospect. Is he the nephew of Adrian Beltre? I think so.
I think you said that before. I don't know if that's true, but maybe.
No, dude, I think it is. I think it is. Okay, I'll fact check that.
Fact
But
check.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure.
Espinal's third string everywhere.
Pretty
Otto
sure.
can play shortstop and third. I'd rather Espinal on the go if trades need to be made. Yeah, Espinal can play short as well, but I don't know about third string. Espinal will give you a lot more value, for sure, than anyone else. Especially he was an all-star last year, even though he fell off after the second half. But he's a better stopgap than trading pitching for Espinal. I don't think the Astros are trading us any of their pitchers. We're serious right with him. Yeah, I agree. He's ranked the number 2 prospect. Yeah, Barrier is incredible. Very, very incredible. And we'll see him, I'm sure. I hear a lot about him throughout the minor league season as well as the, hopefully next spring. They're related for sure. Yeah, I thought they were, but
They have to be, man.
maybe they aren't. If anyone knows, let us know. As we're a couple minutes away from first pitch. Depends on what you get for either one. Yeah, it completely depends on the package. Make sure to hit the like button. Let's get to 15 likes. We're 2 likes away. And again, we'll be going live for, I believe, an hour-long opening day stream a week from today. So make sure to tune in for it. And I know a few other creators are doing a watch along, so you can tune into theirs after our pregame show. But we're excited for the pregame show. I know a lot of you are excited. I don't really only see Espinal value as the backup shortstop in the current team, but if an injury occurred, Barger comes up anyway. I think Espinal has a bit more value. It depends how you value. Can't find it, Peter?
I'm looking, man. I'm looking right here.
It might be a
I'm
question
trying.
for next stream. But any final questions? We're a minute or two left in the stream. Any final questions before we wrap up? And again, 1 week from today, we will be live in around this time, a couple hours later, amping up for the assumed Alek Manoah start. And it's going to be pumped. It's going to be exciting. Talking about the lineup, talking about the Cardinals lineup without Adam Wainwright. And I don't know. It's exciting. It's exciting. It's also going to be exciting to see the Rogers Center renovations as well. But any final questions before we wrap
Cannot
up
wait.
here?
Cannot wait.
It is
for that,
televised
man.
today.
Yes, it's televised.
Which is weird, but I'm assuming tomorrow's isn't then.
Well, I get it's because Minnesota has a feed. That's why. It's not Rogers that's
Okay.
televising it, but
Makes sense.
It's Minnesota stream.
Calvin saying 10K viewers for opening day stream. That won't happen, but that would be great. We're hoping for maybe 100.
Hey, you never
200.
know, man.
You never know.
You never
Dream
know.
big. Can't wait. It's gonna be a great season. It's gonna be super exciting. And again, 1 week away. It's been. I remember doing these the first game of spring training. I guess the game against the Yankees, the first televised game, and it was exciting. And here we are, almost a month later. Season's about to start. It's been a long off season, but it's been an exciting one nonetheless.
Yeah, it has been real exciting. I mean, obviously now it feels like a grind because we're just a couple days away from the season. But
Days are long.
man, this is it. This is it. I mean, this is what we all been asking for. We want to see this team in some real action, and we're gonna get to see it soon. 1 week away, baby.
And hopefully they start off the season super, super hot. 10-0 to start the season. Grand rule double for Espinal already to lead off the game. Perfect, Nick. I guess on that note, we'll let you go watch the game. Thanks, everyone who tuned in. Looking forward to watching the season. We are too, Calvin. It's going to be super exciting. And Espinal Verbigio. It's going to be super exciting. And go, James, go. Calm before the storm. That's what it is right now. That's a great point. These are the calm streams before hopefully everyone the Jays take off, we take off, everything goes well. But thank you guys for tuning in. And I think you guys blow up as the season progresses. Get ready to work with the emotes. We're ready to work. We've been doing it for a while. We're ready to continue
Thanks,
it.
Adam.
And thanks, Adam. Thanks for all the baseball talking live during the afternoon. No worries, Shane. And we'll see you guys in tonight's video if you tune in. If not, we should have a stream tomorrow. 10 games away, pretty rough. All right, take it easy. Thanks to Pete. Thanks, Bombastic. Enjoy the game, and hopefully the Jays get a win and Kikuchi goes